module in Insight will let you decompose the time series into the trend of the data, and then the seasonal variation, and then the residuals of the variation. This is something that I explain in the Truthful Art. This is exactly what I did in this particular exercise. So we have the trend, and then we have the seasonal variation, and then the data that goes unexplained by those two things. Well, this kind of thing can be done in Insight, can be created in Insight. The challenge is that in this case, there's not really any way we can calculate seasonality, because this is a year-by-year data. If we have, for example, the number of films, the number of movies produced every month throughout the years, we may be able to see a seasonal variation, like a pattern of seasonal variation. But in this case, we will. I don't think that we will see anything. But let's give it a try. So I'm going to just close this window, go to the time series panel that I have over here, and I'm going to just click somewhere and select, for example, I don't know, comedy or horror or percentage western, for instance. And then instead of clicking on time series plot, I'm going to ask the time series module to decompose these into the trend and the seasonality, etc. So I'm going to click on that, and this is the result. So the result is quite similar to what you can see in the Truthful Art. Okay, the only difference is that the seasonal swing is basically 0. This means that Insight is not able to calculate, to estimate any kind of seasonal variation. There is no seasonal variation, just because this is year-by-year data. But it still shows you the overall variation, that will be the gray line, the trend line, all right, so this line of best fit that goes here, showing you the overall trend in the data, and then the residuals. The residuals is basically the result of subtracting the trend line from the raw data. So basically here you have almost 2 over 0, and as you can see, this is basically the distance between the gray line and the black line over here. Okay, so what you are seeing over here is like if the black line were the 0 straight line, what are the departures from the black line? It's basically letting you see the variation of the data in comparison to this smooth line that has been shown, that has been drawn in the middle of the chart. But we don't have any seasonal variation. In order to explore that further, later on we are going to use a completely different data set that does have month by month data.